Miss April.
Hi, Billy. Are you enjoying your time off from school for winter break?
I thought I was gonna, but then my mama volunteered me to help our neighbor fix his fence. I figured it'd just take a couple of hours and I could get on with my video game playing, but it's been going on for days.
Oh, wow. What's been taking so long?
Well, we're supposed to just be fixing one little part where the cows have been getting out, but then Mr. Walker decided that the new section looks so good, we should go ahead and replace the rest of it.
Oh, goodness. Is it a long fence?
Mr. Walker said it's 900 lunar feet. I think that's like 10 miles.
I think you mean linear feet. That's not even a fourth of a mile, but I'm sure it's a lot of hard work.
Oh, it is. First we had to go to the lumber yard to get a whole big bunch of posts. Then we had to unload them all and measure them and cut them. And then we could start putting everything together.
That is a lot of work.
Yeah, we've been working from when Beulah's rooster starts cock-a-doodle-dooing in the morning till it's so dark we can't hardly find our way back to the house. I never thought I'd be looking forward to going back to school, Miss April.
Well, I'm sure your neighbor really appreciates you helping him.
Yeah, and Mrs. Walker's been feeding me real good. Breakfast and lunch and snacks. Yesterday she made chocolate chip cookies.
Yum.
I ain't helping 'cause of the food, though. My mama says that neighbors supposed to be helping each other.
That's right. The Bible even says that we should love our neighbors as much as we love ourselves. That verse caused someone to ask Jesus who his neighbor was.
Why do you want to know about Jesus' neighbors? Was he trying to throw a surprise party for Jesus and invite all his friends?
No. The man wanted to know about his own neighbors.
Oh, he must have been new to his neighborhood. When we moved here, my mama made a bunch of her delicious chocolate banana bread and took one to each of the houses around us. That's how I met my best friend, Hezekiah.
Well, sharing some yummy food is a good way to meet your neighbors. But the man who asked Jesus that question was wondering if the word neighbor also included more than just the people near his house.
Oh.
I think he was hoping it meant the people he already knew and liked, who were similar to himself. But Jesus gave him a surprising answer.
What was it?
Well, Jesus first told a parable. Do you remember what that is from when we talked about the parable of the talents?
I remember it ain't got nothing to do with two cows. You know, a pair of bulls.
That's right.
Give me a hint, Miss April.
It's a special kind of story.
Oh, right. A story that teaches a lesson.
Yes, very good.
I love stories.
Well, this is a good one.
Let's hear it, Miss April.
Okay, there was a man who was traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho.
Jericho? Ain't that the place where all the walls fell down? Why would he want to go to a place that was all busted up?
Oh, the city had been rebuilt since the time that it had been destroyed when Joshua and the Israelites marched around it.
Oh, okay. What was he going to do in Jericho?
We don't know. Remember, this was just a made-up story to teach a lesson. It wasn't about an actual person. Parables don't have the names of people or tell why they're doing something, unless it's important for teaching the lesson.
Okay, so he's going to Jericho. Was it far from Jerusalem to Jericho?
It was 18 miles. That only takes us about 25 minutes in a car. But in Bible times, when they had to walk or ride a donkey, it was closer to an 8-hour trip. The road was very rocky with a lot of hills. Here, I have a picture.
Oh, that looks like a good dirt bike trail.
Well, it wasn't a good trail for the man in the story because something terrible happened to him along the way.
What?
There were bandits on the trail.
Oh, I know what you mean, Miss April. My Uncle Skeeter plays one.
Your Uncle Skeeter plays one?
Yeah.
I don't understand. What does he play?
It's like a round guitar. I don't care for the sound it makes, but my Uncle Skeeter loves bluegrass music.
Oh, I think you mean a banjo.
Right. Did he have to listen to a bunch of twangy music along the way? Like, doo 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 doo.
No, there were no banjos along the road. There were bandits.
Oh, I know what you're saying now. Mama put one on Booger Ray's knee the other day when he fell down.
That's a bandage.
Yeah, they were along the road. They must have fallen out of somebody's first aid kit.
No, not a bandage, a bandit.
I'm so confused. It sounds like you just said, not a bandage, a bandage.
A bandit is a robber or an outlaw.
Oh, there were outlaws on the road?
Yes, the road to Jericho was known for being really dangerous. With so many rocks, there were probably a lot of places that robbers could hide.
What happened?
The thieves got him. They robbed him, took his clothes, and hurt him.
Good grief. Did he call 911?
No, there were no phones or emergency services back then like ambulances or police officers.
Oh no.
But as he was laying on the road badly wounded, a priest came along that was a religious leader who made sacrifices in God's temple.
Oh good, he's gonna help the man for sure.
You would think, but instead, when he saw the man, he crossed to the other side of the road and went past him.
What? He didn't even pray for him?
Nope. Next, a Levite came along. Just like the priest, he was a person who was from the tribe of Levi.
Did he have something to do with blue jeans?
No, Levi was the name of one of the 12 sons of Jacob, who was Abraham's grandson. He didn't have anything to do with Levi jeans.
Oh.
Do you remember when we learned about Moses?
Yeah, he took all those people on what should have been an 11-day trip, but it ended up taking 40 years because they were all a bunch of complainers and didn't trust God.
That's right. Moses and his brother Aaron helped free the Israelites from Egyptian slavery. Their ancestor was a man named Levi.
The Levi you just talked about?
Yes.
Oh, did they take one of those DNA tests to find out who their ancestor was? Beulah says when she gets bigger, she's going to take one of them tests to see if she's really related to me and Booger Ray.
Well, I think she'll be wasting her money because you and Beulah look a lot alike even though your personalities are very different.
She thinks she's going to find out she's really a princess and then get to move to a palace.
Well, to answer your question about Moses and Aaron, they didn't need to take an ancestry test because Levi was their great-grandfather. Since he lived 137 years, he was probably still alive when they were growing up.
He must have ate a big bunch of vegetables to live so long.
Well, it was common for people back then to live over 100 years. And before Noah's flood, they lived much longer. Noah lived 950 years, and Methuselah, who was Noah's grandfather, lived 969 years.
Good grief, I thought 20 was old.
Well, 20 is definitely not old.
I guess how old or young you think somebody is depends on how old you are. The other day, my papa called somebody a young man, and the guy was 80.
Let's get back to our story. All of the men who were descended from Moses' brother Aaron served as priests in the temple, and all of the other men from the family of Levi helped in the temple.
Like how?
They were musicians and gatekeepers, and they taught the people God's commandments, so the Levite who was coming towards the man was also a religious leader.
Oh, I bet he's going to help the man. That priest was probably just in a hurry to get back to the temple.
Well, we don't know which direction either of them were going, but just like the priest, the Levite crossed to the other side of the road and went past the injured man.
He didn't stop either?
No, he sure didn't.
Good grief.
Finally, a Samaritan came down the road. Do you remember when we talked about the 10 lepers that Jesus healed so they no longer had an awful skin disease?
Oh, yeah, and only the Samaritan came back and thanked Jesus.
The Samaritan, that's right. A Samaritan was from Samaria, which is the region north of Jerusalem. The Jewish people didn't like Samaritans.
Why?
Remember when we learned about King Hezekiah and how the Assyrians came and surrounded the city of Jerusalem?
I think so. Is that when an angel killed a whole big bunch of them?
Yes. After that, the Assyrians left the southern kingdom of Judah alone, but they had already conquered the northern kingdom of Israel, which included Samaria.
Oh, what happened to them?
Well, whenever the Assyrians would take over an area, they would move some of the people to other locations in their empire, and then they would move people from faraway places into the newly conquered land.
Why would they jumble everybody up like that?
They wanted everyone to start thinking of themselves as Assyrians. Also, with lots of different languages and cultures in one place, they were less likely to join together and rebel against their new king.
Oh, I guess that's kind of smart, I guess.
Yes, it was a strategy that seemed to work for them.
So the, Samaritans got shuffled around too?
Samaritans, yes. The Jewish people who got to stay in Samaria started marrying the Gentiles who the Assyrians moved into the region.
Well, at least they were all getting along real good.
Yeah, but they were not supposed to marry anyone who wasn't Jewish.
Why?
Because the Gentiles didn't worship the one true God. By marrying people who were idol worshippers, the Jewish people were likely to start doing that too. And that's exactly what happened.
Oh no.
The Jewish people of Judah didn't like the Samaritans because of how they didn't worship at the temple in Jerusalem, and because they were no longer fully Jewish.
That seems kind of wrong.
Yes, instead of looking down on the Samaritans, they should have represented God's love by showing them kindness.
Well, I reckon the man in the story sure didn't get no help from the guy everybody didn't like.
That's where the story takes an unexpected turn, because the Samaritan did stop to help him.
Wow.
The first thing the Samaritan did was pour oil and wine on the man's wounds.
Oil and wine? My mama always put some kind of clear, gooey stuff on us.
Well, back in Bible times, they didn't have medicine like Neosporin, so they used wine, which kept a wound from getting infected, and then oil, which was soothing.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should try that. I got a whole big bunch of boo-boos on my hands from handling that barbed wire for Mr. Walker's fence.
Yeah, you should probably just stick to the clear, gooey stuff and some Band-Aids. Speaking of Band-Aids, next, the Samaritan bandaged the man's wounds, put him on his animal, which was probably a donkey, and brought him to an inn.
He brought him in to what now?
He brought the injured man to an inn. A place where travelers could spend the night.
Like a Holiday Inn?
Yes, but more like someone's house who had an extra room or two.
Wait, he took him to a hotel or a bed and breakfast? Not the hospital?
There weren't any hospitals back then.
Oh.
The Samaritan took care of the man that night, and when he had to continue his journey the next morning, he gave the innkeeper 2 denarii.
What's that?
Coins.
Oh, don't you mean dinero, Miss April? That's Spanish for money.
Denarii was 2 or more of a Roman coin called a denarius, and from another parable that Jesus told about workers in a vineyard, we know that a denarius was how much someone would be paid for a whole day of hard work.
So he gave the hotel guy 2 of those coins?
Yes, it was the amount of pay for 2 days' work. Then he told the innkeeper to take care of the injured man, and if it costs more, then he would stop off and pay it on his return trip.
Wow, that was really good.
It sure was. That's why the name of the parable is the Good Samaritan. Do you want to guess what the lesson of the parable is?
Oh, I got this one figured out for sure. Don't travel on the road from Jerusalem to Jericho, 'cause it's full of ruffians.
Well, that would have been good advice for Bible times, but the road isn't dangerous anymore, and the lesson of a parable was something that still applies for us today.
Okay, I know what it is now.
Okay, what is it?
Pour oil and wine on your boo-boos, and you won't even have to buy that clear gooey stuff.
That wasn't the lesson either.
If you get injured real bad, go to a Holiday Inn instead of the hospital?
No, you should definitely go to the hospital when you're injured.
I give up, Miss April. What in the world's the lesson of the story?
It has to do with the question that the person asked Jesus before he told the story. He asked who was his Hezekiah and Mr. Walker.
Neighbor.
That's right. At the end of the story, Jesus asked who had been a neighbor to the man who had been injured by thieves.
Oh, that's gotta be the guy who helped him.
Right. This means that our neighbor, who we're supposed to love, is anyone we encounter in our everyday lives. We have to have compassion for everyone.
Oh, that's good. So my neighbor ain't just the Walkers and Hezekiah's family and the other folks that live near us. It's everybody.
Yes, God loves and cares about everyone and doesn't want anyone to spend eternity away from Him. When we show love and kindness to everyone we meet, then we're representing God's love for them.
Well, I try to be nice to everybody, but now I'm going to look for ways to be super duper helpful.
Oh, good.
Papa! Hi there! What are y'all doing? Oh, we just learned how to be a good neighbor to everybody. Oh, speaking of neighbors, I saw Eugene yesterday at the tractor supply. Who's Eugene? Eugene Walker. Y'all's neighbor. Oh, I didn't realize he had a first name. I thought he was just Mr. Walker. Well, he was telling me what a fine job you've been doing helping with his fence. Yeah, I've been going over there every day this week.
Mr. Herschel?
I saw Eugene at the tractor supply yesterday.
Yes, you said that Mr. Walker was telling you about his fence?
Right. Billy, since you got so much experience, I was thinking that for your spring break you might come help me replace the fence around my back 40. The back 40 feet? No, 40 acres. Oh, sure, Papa, I can do that. Oh, good. And since you're giving up your spring break, I'm gonna pay you real good. You are? Yep. If you work real hard every day, at the end of the job, I'll give you a nice, crisp $1 bill. Oh. Your mama mentioned that you could use some new baseball cleats. Now you'll be able to get those and a new glove. You can buy a hamburger and a soda pop with what's left over. Thank you, Papa, but I don't need to get paid anything. Oh, I insist.
Well, Billy, it sounds like you're going to be an expert fence builder after you get done helping Mr. Walker and your grandpa.
Yeah, although I ain't looking forward to handling that barbed wire again. It's kind of stickery. Oh, I got some gloves you can wear. Okay. Hey, Papa, how am I going to get over to your house every day? Papa? You can wear gloves. Okay, but how am I going to get over to your house every day? Oh, I was thinking you could stay with us that week. Oh, I could eat some of Mama's delicious breakfast. You think she'll make me some chocolate gravy? Oh, I'm sure she will. I had some this morning. Oh, and I'll be there for lunch and dinner, and I can sleep in that big old tall bed in the guest room. I got to use a step stool to get into it. It's so tall.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's like being in a bunk bed. Maybe Hezekiah would like to come too. Oh, yeah, he does like to measure and calculate stuff. He can do all the ciphering for us. He can earn a nice crisp dollar bill too. And then he can buy himself a telescope or something sciencey like that. Yeah. Well, I reckon I gotta get to big church before it starts. All right, Papa, I'll walk with you.
It was nice to see you again, Mr. Herschel.
Oh, it was nice to see you. I'll be right back, Miss April.
Okay, hurry back. We're about to act out the parable we just talked about.
Oh, okay. Can I be the good guy?
Well, we're going to draw names for who gets which part.
Okay. Let's see. There's the traveling man, some robbers, a priest, a Levite, the good guy, the hotel guy. Oh, and somebody else, Miss April.
Who?
A donkey. That'd be a good part too.
Yes, we can have a donkey character.
Oh, I hope I get that one. Okay, I'll be right back.
See you in a second.